3 days passed since Olivia found Naylara and baby Lyra in the cave. Each day after her shift, Olivia hiked up with supplies. Food, blankets, water, and even a small heater that ran on batteries. Naylara worked on fixing her cloaking device, her blue fingers moving with amazing speed over the broken parts. Olivia sat near the cave entrance, keeping watch. The storm had passed, but the red lights in the sky appeared more often now. Naylara said they were Dravak scout ships looking for her. "How's the repair going?" Olivia asked, turning back to look at the alien woman. Naylara frowned. "Slow, need more parts." She held up a small metal piece. "This broken." Olivia took it and studied it. It looked a bit like a computer chip, but the metal was strange. It felt warm in her hand. "I don't think we have anything like this on Earth. Can make new one. Need time." Naylara looked tired. She hadn't slept much. Every time the baby woke, she would feed her with a blue liquid from a pouch. The supplies she had brought from her ship were running low. "Tell me more about your people," Olivia said. She was still trying to understand everything. It seemed crazy, sitting in a cave with an alien, but she couldn't deny what she saw with her own eyes. Naylara smiled sadly. "Caucasian's old race. We travel stars for thousands of years. We find Earth long ago, watch humans grow, learn, never interfere." She looked down at Lyra, who was playing with a small ball of light that floated above her pod. "Some of us love humans. Is that how Lyra?" Olivia began. Naylara nodded. "Lyra's father human. Good man, scientist. We meet when his team studies stars near my home world. We fall in love." Her silver eyes filled with tears. "Dravak attack. He died protecting us." Olivia felt a pang of sadness. "I'm sorry. He knew risk. Caucasians and humans not supposed to mate. But sometimes love's stronger than rules." Naylara touched the pod where Lyra slept. "Lyra special. First perfect blend of both worlds." The radio at Olivia's hip crackled. "All units, be advised. NASA reports unusual atmospheric activity in Sector 7. All Rangers check in." Sector 7 was their area. Olivia picked up the radio. "This is Mercer checking in. No unusual activity at my location." She lied again and felt a twist in her stomach. She was breaking all the rules, but what choice did she have? After reporting in, Olivia turned back to Naylara. "They're noticing something. We don't have much time." Naylara's face showed fear. Dravak getting closer. "Soon they send ground forces." She stood up and walked to Olivia, her movements graceful despite her injured leg. "We need to complete bond now." Olivia stepped back. "You still haven't explained what this bond really is." "Simple ritual. Mix blood. Speak words. Creates energy pattern that hides us from Dravak scanners." Naylara held out her hand. A small knife with a crystal blade rested on her palm. "Quick safe," Olivia hesitated. "And what happens after? When the danger is over? Bond can break when safe. No harm to you." Naylara looked into Olivia's eyes. "Trust me, please." Trust was a big ask. Olivia had lived alone for years after her divorce. She kept to herself, preferred the company of trees and mountains to people. Now an alien was asking her to form some kind of blood bond, but then she looked at Lyra, the innocent baby who was half human. What would happen to her if the Dravak found them? Before Olivia could answer, a loud boom shook the cave. Dust and rocks fell from the ceiling. Lyra woke and began to cry, a sound like bells ringing. "They're here," Naylara whispered, her face pale. "Dravak found us." Olivia ran to the cave entrance and looked out. In the valley below, a red light had hit the ground. It wasn't a ship, but some kind of pod. As she watched, the pod opened. A tall figure stepped out. Even from this distance, Olivia could tell it wasn't human. It moved too smoothly, its body covered in what looked like red armor. "Some kind of soldier," Olivia said, her heart racing. She turned back to Naylara. "What do we do?" Naylara was gathering her things quickly, putting them into a small bag. She picked up Lyra's pod. "We run. Find new place to hide." "No," Olivia said firmly. "That thing will track you. You said so yourself." She made her decision and walked to Naylara. "Let's do the bond now." Relief washed over Naylara's face. She took the crystal knife and made a small cut on her palm. Blue blood, thick like syrup, welled up. She handed the knife to Olivia. Olivia took a deep breath and cut her own palm. Red blood flowed from the wound. Naylara took Olivia's hand and pressed their cuts together. Their blood mixed, and Olivia felt a strange warmth spread up her arm. "Repeat words," Naylara said. "I bind my life force to yours. In protection and trust we are one." Olivia repeated the words, feeling silly but also scared. As she spoke the last word, a flash of blue light surrounded their joined hands. Olivia felt a jolt like electricity but not painful, and then something strange happened. She could feel Naylara, not just her hand but her emotions, her fear, her gratitude, her determination to protect her child. "What was that?" Olivia gasped, pulling her hand away. The cut was already healing, a faint blue line where it had been. "Bond complete," Naylara said, smiling despite the danger. "Now we connected. Drevak's scanners see us as one life form, not Khaleesian female." Olivia felt different, like her senses were sharper. She could hear the wind outside more clearly, see the colors of the cave walls more vividly. "What did you do to me?" "Bond wakes up dormant genes," Naylara explained. "Some humans have Khaleesian ancestors, very old bloodlines. You must be one." Olivia didn't have time to process this new information. Another boom shook the cave, closer this time. The Dravak soldier was climbing the mountain. "We need to go," Olivia said. She grabbed her backpack and Naylara's bag. "There's a back way out of this cave. Leads to an old mining tunnel. We can lose it there." They moved deeper into the cave, Naylara carrying Lyra's pod, Olivia leading the way with her flashlight. The tunnel was narrow and the air was stale, but it was their only chance. As they reached the back of the cave, Olivia heard heavy footsteps at the entrance. The Dravak soldier had found them. She pushed Naylara into the tunnel and followed quickly, pulling a large rock to cover the opening. They moved through the dark tunnel, Olivia's flashlight their only guide. Behind them, they heard the sound of the rock being pushed aside. The soldier was following. "It can track us," Naylara whispered, her voice shaking. "Not if our bond works," Olivia said, trying to sound confident. She touched Naylara's arm. "Stay close to me." They came to a fork in the tunnel. Olivia hesitated, trying to remember the old mining maps she had studied. Left led deeper into the mountain. Right led toward her cabin, but it was a longer route. This way, she decided, taking the right path. If they could reach her cabin, they would have more options. As they moved, Olivia noticed something strange. She could see in the dark better than before. The tunnel walls seemed to glow faintly, showing the way. Another effect of the bond? They walked for what felt like hours, the sound of pursuit growing fainter. Maybe the bond was working. Maybe the Dravak couldn't track them anymore. Finally, they saw light ahead, the tunnel exit. It opened into the forest not far from Olivia's cabin. They stepped out into the fresh air, the sun setting behind the mountains. "We made it," Olivia said, relief washing over her. But Naylara was looking at the sky, her face filled with new fear. "More coming," she whispered. Olivia looked up. Through the clouds, she could see 3 red lights moving. "More Dravak ships. My cabin is close." "We'll be safer there," Olivia said. She took Naylara's hand. "Come on." As they ran through the trees, Olivia felt the bond between them grow stronger. She could sense Naylara's thoughts, her memories. Images flashed in Olivia's mind. A beautiful world with crystal cities, a war with ships firing red beams, a human man with kind eyes, holding a baby with blue skin. The bond was more than Naylara had explained. It was joining them in ways Olivia hadn't expected. But there was no time to worry about that now. They had to reach safety before the Dravak found them again. The night was cold in the mountains of Wyoming. Olivia Mercer pulled her forest ranger jacket tighter around her body. The radio at her hip crackled with static. It was her 5th year patrolling these woods, and she knew every tree and rock. Or so she thought. A flash of blue light caught her eye. It came from the direction of Eagle Cave, a place most hikers avoided due to its remote location. Olivia checked her watch. It was almost midnight and no one should be up there. "Base, this is Mercer. I'm checking out some strange lights near Eagle Cave," she said into her radio. "Copy that, Mercer. Be careful. Storm's coming in," the voice replied. Olivia climbed the narrow path, her flashlight beam bouncing off the rocks. The strange blue light flashed again, brighter this time. She reached for her gun but hoped she wouldn't need it. Probably just some teenagers with fancy camping lights, she thought. The mouth of the cave loomed ahead, dark and silent, but now she could see a faint blue glow coming from inside. Olivia took a deep breath and stepped in. "Hello? Forest Service. Is anyone in here?" Her voice echoed off the stone walls. A sound came from deeper in the cave, something between a gasp and a sob. Olivia moved forward, her hand still on her gun. The blue light grew stronger, and then she saw it. It wasn't teenagers. It wasn't even human. A woman sat huddled against the cave wall, but her skin was blue, not like someone who was cold, but truly blue, with patterns that seemed to glow from within. Her eyes were large and silver with no whites, and her hair floated around her head as if she were underwater. Beside her was what looked like broken pieces of metal and glass, and in her arms she held a clear pod with a small shape inside. Olivia froze. The alien woman looked up, fear clear on her face. "Please," the blue woman said in halting English. "No harm." Her voice had a musical quality, like chimes in the wind. Olivia's training hadn't covered this. She should call it in. This was way above her pay grade. But something in the alien's eyes made her pause. "Who are you? What are you doing here?" Olivia asked, her voice shaking slightly. The alien woman touched a small device on her wrist. "I am Naylara. My ship." She gestured to the broken pieces. "Crashed, hunted." Then she held up the pod in her arms. Inside was a baby sleeping peacefully. The infant had the same blue skin, but the patterns were fainter, softer. "Your baby?" Olivia asked, her gun hand dropping to her side. Naylara nodded. "Lyra." A tear slid down her cheek, but it wasn't clear like a human tear. It looked like liquid silver. "We run from Dravak. They kill my people. The Calesians." Olivia's mind raced. This was first contact. Actual aliens. On her shift. She reached for her radio. Protocol said she needed to report this immediately. "No." Naylara lunged forward with surprising speed and grabbed Olivia's wrist. Her touch was warm, warmer than a human's. "Please. They listen. They find us." "Who? Who's listening?" Olivia asked, trying to pull away. "Dravak. Hunt us, hunt." Naylara looked down at her baby. "Hunt the children." The radio crackled again. "Mercer, check in. Did you find anything at the cave?" "Over." Naylara's eyes widened with fear. She clutched her baby closer. Olivia hesitated, then slowly raised the radio. "Base, this is Mercer. False alarm. Just some unusual rock formations reflecting my light. I'm going to finish my patrol and head in. Storm's picking up, over. Copy that. Be safe out there." Olivia put the radio back on her belt and looked at Naylara. "I just lied for you. Now tell me everything. Why are you here? Why are these Dravak hunting you?" Naylara seemed to relax slightly. She motioned for Olivia to sit. "Long story. My people, Calesians, peaceful. We watch Earth for many years. Never interfere." She pointed to the stars. "Out there, war. Dravak want power, want..." She touched her own chest, then pointed to her baby. "What we have inside. What do you have inside?" Olivia asked. Naylara held out her hand. A small ball of blue energy formed above her palm, casting shadows on the cave walls. "Energy, life force. Dravak want to use as weapon." Olivia stared at the glowing ball, then at the alien. "And they followed you to Earth?" Naylara nodded sadly. "Not safe anywhere. My mate..." Her voice broke. "Gone, protecting us." She looked down at the sleeping baby. Lyra, last hope. Olivia felt a pang of sympathy. Refugee, she thought. A mother trying to protect her child. That at least was something she could understand. "What will you do now?" she asked. "Fix this." Naylara pointed to a small device among the broken ship parts. "Cloak us. Hide from Dravak sensors. How long will that take?" "Many days." Naylara looked around the cave. "Safe here?" Olivia thought about it. The cave was remote. Few people came this way, especially in winter. "For now, yes. But you'll need supplies. Food, water, blankets." "Thank you." Naylara's silver eyes seemed to look right through Olivia. "But there is problem." She stood up shakily and walked to the cave entrance, looking at the night sky. "Dravak's ship's close. They scanned for lone females. Calesian females." She turned back to Olivia, her face desperate. "Only mated pairs invisible to scanners." Olivia frowned. "I don't understand." Naylara walked back and took Olivia's hands in hers. "Need mate signal to hide. Need husband." She looked into Olivia's eyes. "Please, you must be my husband. Or they find us." Olivia pulled her hands away, shocked. "What? No. I mean, I don't even know what that means." Simple bond, temporary, blood and promise. Naylara's eyes filled with silver tears again. "Please, for Lyra." As if on cue, the baby in the pod stirred and opened her eyes. They were not silver like her mother's, but a deep blue. She looked at Olivia and made a soft cooing sound. Then Olivia noticed something strange. The baby's facial features weren't entirely alien. They looked almost human. Naylara saw her looking. Lyra special. Half Kalesian, half human. How is that possible? Olivia asked. Before Naylara could answer, a deep rumble shook the cave. Dust and small rocks fell from the ceiling. Both women looked toward the entrance. Far above, through the clouds, a red light moved across the sky. They come, Naylara whispered, fear making her voice tremble. She clutched Lyra's pod tightly. Please. No time. Olivia looked at the alien mother, the sleeping half-human baby, and the red light in the sky. Everything she knew told her to run, to call this in, to let the proper authorities handle it. But something deeper, something she couldn't explain, made her stay. What do I have to do? She asked quietly. Relief washed over Naylara's face. Thank you, she whispered, the silver tears flowing freely now. Thank you. Outside, the storm clouds gathered and the wind howled as if Earth itself knew that everything was about to change. Olivia's cabin stood alone in a small clearing surrounded by tall pine trees. It was simple but strong, built to withstand the harsh Wyoming winters. As they approached, Olivia felt relief. This was her safe place. We'll be okay here, she told Naylara, unlocking the door. Not many people come this way. Naylara stepped inside, looking around with curious silver eyes. Lyra made soft cooing sounds from her pod as if she approved of their new shelter. Warm, Naylara said, touching the wooden walls. Safe feeling. Olivia closed all the curtains and turned on a single lamp. Then she checked her rifle and placed it near the door. She wasn't sure it would work against a Drevak soldier, but it made her feel better. You should eat something, Olivia said, heading to the kitchen. And rest. You look exhausted. While Naylara fed Lyra, Olivia made soup and sandwiches. As they ate, Olivia tried to make sense of everything that had happened. Just a week ago, her biggest worry was finishing her patrol reports on time. Now she was hiding an alien mother and baby from space hunters. The bond, Olivia said, touching the healed cut on her palm. I can feel you. In my head, is that normal? Naylara nodded. Bond creates connection. Shares thoughts, feelings. She looked embarrassed. Not tell whole truth before bond. Deeper than said. How deep? Olivia asked, worried now. On my world, similar bond between life mates. Not just for hiding. Naylara wouldn't meet Olivia's eyes. Did not think human would feel so strongly. Your Kalesian blood must be strong. Olivia tried to process this. So we're basically married, in Kalesian terms? Similar, yes, but can break when safe. Naylara looked up finally. Sorry for not explaining fully. No time then. Olivia should have been angry, but through the bond she could feel Naylara's sincerity. The alien truly had been desperate, trying to save her child. It's okay, Olivia said. I understand why you did it. After eating, Olivia made a bed for Naylara and Lyra in the spare room. As Naylara settled in, Olivia went to the living room window and peeked outside. The night was quiet, but she knew the Drevak were out there searching. Sleep came fitfully that night. Olivia kept waking, thinking she heard noises outside. Each time she would check on Naylara and Lyra, finding comfort in their peaceful sleep. In the morning, Olivia called in sick to work. She couldn't risk leaving Naylara alone. Through the bond, she could feel the alien's exhaustion and fear. As the day went on, Naylara worked on repairing her cloaking device using parts from Olivia's old radio. Olivia watched, fascinated by the alien technology. How does it work? She asked. Uses energy field to bend light, hide heat signature, Naylara explained, her blue fingers moving quickly. When fixed, can hide ship parts too. Maybe find safe place to rebuild. And go where? Olivia asked. Naylara looked sad. Not sure. Few Kalesians left. Most colonies destroyed by Drevak. She touched Lyra's pod gently. Maybe find others hiding. Start new life. The thought of Naylara leaving made Olivia feel strangely empty. She told herself it was just the bond affecting her emotions. Around noon, they heard a vehicle approaching. Olivia looked out the window and saw a familiar truck. It's Catherine, she said. My neighbor. She turned to Naylara with worry. Quick, hide in the bedroom. Catherine Dawson was the closest thing Olivia had to a friend in these mountains. She owned the ranch down in the valley and sometimes brought Olivia fresh eggs and milk. Normally, Olivia would be happy to see her, but not today. As Naylara hid, Olivia went to the door. Catherine was already on the porch, a basket in her hands. Hey there, Catherine said with a smile. She was a tall woman with sun-browned skin and dark hair streaked with gray. Heard you called in sick. Brought you some soup and bread. Thanks, Olivia said, trying to act normal. Just a cold. Nothing serious. Catherine looked past her into the cabin. You've got company? She asked, noticing the 2 bowls on the table. No, Olivia began, but she felt a wave of dizziness. The bond was pulling at her, warning her. Something wasn't right. Catherine's expression changed. Her smile faded. You're lying, Olivia. Who's here with you? Before Olivia could answer, Catherine pushed past her into the cabin. She walked straight to the bedroom door and opened it. Naylora stood there holding Lyra's pod, her blue skin glowing faintly in the dim light. To Olivia's surprise, Catherine didn't scream or run. She simply stared at Naylora, then at Lyra, her face showing not fear but recognition. I knew it, Catherine said softly. I felt the energy shift 3 days ago. Another one has come? Another one? Olivia asked, confused. You know about them? Catherine turned to Olivia, her eyes suddenly glowing with a faint golden light. My grandmother wasn't entirely human, Olivia. Some of us have been waiting for the stars to return. Olivia felt like the floor was tilting beneath her. Catherine, her quiet neighbor who raised horses and made the best apple pie in the county, was part alien. You're Calesian? Naylora asked, hope in her voice. Quarter Calesian, Catherine corrected. My grandmother came here 60 years ago, fell in love with my grandfather, had my mother. She looked at Lyra. Another hybrid child. They're getting more common. The Dravak are hunting us, Naylora said urgently. They're here on Earth? Catherine nodded grimly. I've seen their ships, felt their energy. She turned to Olivia. And you've bonded with her? I can see the connection between you. Olivia touched her palm where the cut had been. It was to hide from the Dravak. It's more than that now, Catherine said. The bond is strong. Your Calesian blood has awakened. My what? Olivia asked. I'm human. My parents were human. Catherine smiled sadly. Many don't know their true heritage. The Calesian genes can sleep for generations, then wake when needed. She touched Olivia's forehead gently. You've always been different, haven't you? More connected to nature, able to sense things others can't. It was true. Olivia had always felt different, more at home in the wilderness than with people. She had attributed it to being introverted, but what if it was more? How many others are there? Naylora asked Catherine. More than you'd think. Less than we need. Catherine's face was serious. We have a network. People like me with Calesian blood. We've been preparing for the possibility of contact. Or invasion. Can you help us? Olivia asked. Catherine nodded. That's why I'm here. I sensed the bond forming. I knew someone needed help. She looked at Naylora. We have safe houses, places the Dravak can't scan, and we have technology that might help you repair your ship. Hope bloomed in Naylora's eyes. Others like me? Here on Earth? A few pure Calesians, mostly hybrids like me. Catherine smiled at Lyra. Your daughter isn't as unique as you thought, though she is beautiful. For the first time since Olivia had met her, Naylora truly smiled. It transformed her face, making her look younger, less afraid. We should move quickly, Catherine said. The Dravak aren't just hunting you. They're searching for all of us. Something has made them desperate. She looked at Lyra again. Perhaps they know about the children. What about the children? Olivia asked. Catherine and Naylora exchanged a look. Through the bond, Olivia felt Naylora's hesitation, then her decision to trust. Hybrid children like Lyra, Naylora said, have special abilities. Stronger than pure Calesians, stronger than humans. They can manipulate energy in ways neither species can alone. The Dravak don't want to kill them, Catherine added. They want to capture them. Use them as weapons. The thought made Olivia sick. She looked at tiny Lyra, sleeping peacefully in her pod. We won't let that happen, she said firmly. Catherine nodded. Pack what you need. My truck is outside. We'll take the back roads to the safe house. As they gathered their things, Olivia felt a strange mix of emotions through the bond. Naylora was relieved to find allies but still afraid. And underneath it all was something else, something warm directed at Olivia. Gratitude, friendship, or something more? Olivia pushed the thought away. They needed to focus on staying alive. Everything else could wait. As they loaded Catherine's truck, the sky darkened with storm clouds. But Olivia knew it wasn't a natural storm. The Dravak ships were gathering. They know we've moved, Nalara said, looking up fearfully. They're focusing their search here. Then we'd better move fast, Catherine said, starting the engine. Hold on tight. It's going to be a bumpy ride. As they drove away from the cabin, Olivia looked back one last time at her home. She had a feeling she wouldn't see it again for a long time. Maybe never. Her life had changed forever the moment she saw that blue light in the cave. Through the bond, she felt Nalara's hand find hers, their fingers intertwined, blue against tan. In that moment, Olivia knew that whatever happened next, they would face it together. Catherine drove fast down the mountain roads, her truck bouncing over the uneven ground. Rain began to fall, heavy drops hitting the windshield. But Olivia knew it wasn't just rain. Through her new senses, she could feel the energy in the air, unnatural and disturbing. They're seeding the clouds, Nalara said, holding Lyra's pod tightly, looking for our heat signatures. We're almost to the safe house, Catherine assured them, turning onto a narrow dirt road that disappeared into thick trees. The walls are lined with a special metal that blocks their scans. After a few more minutes of driving, they reached a small cabin hidden among the pines. It looked ordinary from the outside, but when they entered, Olivia saw it was anything but normal. The inside walls shimmered with a faint blue glow. Strange devices sat on tables and shelves. A map on one wall showed glowing dots scattered across the world. Other collisions and hybrids, Catherine explained, seeing Olivia look at the map. Our network. We call ourselves the Starseed Network. Nalara walked to the map, her fingers touching the dots with wonder. So many, she whispered. I thought we were alone. Far from it, said a new voice. A man stepped from a back room. He was tall, with dark skin and eyes that glowed slightly green. Welcome, sister. Nalara bowed her head slightly. Thank you, brother. This is Paul, Catherine said to Olivia. He helps run our safe house network. Paul looked at Olivia, his strange eyes seeming to see right through her. A new bond, interesting. He turned to Nalara. Your daughter is the one we've been sensing. Her energy signature is remarkable. Nalara nodded, pride in her eyes. Lyra is special. Perfect blend of both worlds. The Dravak know this too, Paul said gravely. Their attacks have increased since her birth. They can sense her power even if they can't pinpoint it. Catherine led them to a table where food and drinks waited. As they ate, Paul explained more about the Starseed Network. We've been preparing for decades, he said. Some of us are scientists working on technology to defend Earth. Others are in governments around the world keeping watch for Dravak infiltration. How did the Dravak find Earth? Olivia asked. Paul and Catherine exchanged looks. We believe they followed a Kalesian research vessel, Paul said. But there's more to it. The Dravak Empire is changing. There's internal conflict. Some want peace with the Kalesians. Others want to continue the war. Those who want the war are desperate for weapons, Catherine added. Hybrid children like Lyra represent their best hope. Olivia felt sick at the thought. Through the bond, she could feel Nalara's fear for her child. What do we do now? Olivia asked. First, we strengthen your defenses, Paul said. He looked at Olivia's palm where the bond mark faded. The blood bond is good, but it can be stronger. And you, Olivia, need to learn to use your awakened abilities. What abilities? Olivia asked. Paul smiled. Each hybrid manifests differently. But given your profession as a forest ranger, I suspect you have a strong connection to living things. Plants, animals. You might be able to influence them, communicate with them. Olivia thought about how animals had always seemed calm around her, how plants in her care thrived. Had that been her Kalesian blood all along? For the next 2 days, they stayed at the safe house. Paul helped Nalara repair her cloaking device with parts from their supplies. Catherine worked with Olivia, teaching her to focus her newfound abilities. Feel the life energy around you, Catherine instructed as they stood in the forest behind the cabin. It flows through everything living. Trees, plants, animals, even the soil. Olivia closed her eyes and tried to sense what Catherine described. At first, there was nothing. Then slowly she began to feel it, a pulse like millions of tiny heartbeats all around her. The trees reached toward her, their energy welcoming. I can feel them, Olivia whispered, amazed. They're alive. I knew they were alive, but not like this. Catherine nodded. That's your gift. You can connect with them, ask for their help. In danger, this could save your life. Each day, Olivia grew stronger. She could make plants move slightly, could sense animals before seeing them. Through the bond with Nalara, She could even glimpse memories of the Calesian homeworld, a beautiful planet with crystal cities and oceans that glowed at night. The bond was growing stronger too. Olivia found herself thinking of Naylara constantly, feeling drawn to her. At night they would talk for hours, sharing stories of their lives. Naylara told her about growing up among the stars, about meeting Lyra's father, about losing him to the Dravak attack. Olivia shared her own pain of a failed marriage, of finding peace in the wilderness, of always feeling like an outsider. Not outsider, Naylara said softly one night, as they sat by the window watching the stars, just lost between worlds, like me. Their hands found each other in the darkness, fingers intertwining naturally. Through the bond, Olivia felt Naylara's emotions, complex and warm. She wondered if Naylara could feel hers too, the confusion and growing affection. On the third day, as they all ate breakfast, the alarm system beeped. Paul rushed to a screen on the wall. "Dravak ship," he said grimly. "Low orbit right above us. The cloaking on this place should hide us, but they're scanning intensively." They all fell silent, listening. Outside, the birds had stopped singing. Even the wind seemed to hold its breath. Then they heard it. A heavy thud on the roof. Something had landed. "Hunter," Naylara whispered, fear in her voice. "Elite Dravak soldier. Can track through cloaking." Paul moved quickly, grabbing weapons from a hidden panel. He handed one to Catherine and offered one to Olivia. It looked like a gun but glowed with blue energy. "Calesian design," he explained. "Disrupts Dravak armor." Heavy footsteps moved across the roof. Then silence. They all looked up, waiting. The attack came from the side. The wall exploded inward, sending them all diving for cover. Through the dust and debris stepped a tall figure in red armor. Its helmet had no visible eyes, just a smooth red surface that reflected their frightened faces. Paul fired his weapon. Blue energy hit the Dravak hunter, making its armor spark, but it kept coming. Catherine fired next, hitting it in the leg. The hunter stumbled but didn't fall. Olivia raised her weapon, but before she could fire, the hunter pointed something at her. Red light shot out, hitting her in the chest. Pain exploded through her body. She fell back, gasping. "Olivia!" Naylara screamed. Through the bond, Olivia felt her panic. The hunter turned toward Naylara and Lyra. It spoke, its voice metallic and cold. "The child," it said in broken English. "Give us the child!" "Never," Naylara said, standing protectively in front of Lyra's pod. The hunter raised its weapon again. Olivia, fighting through the pain, knew she had to do something. Catherine's training came back to her. The life energy all around them. The trees, the plants, the very earth. Closing her eyes, Olivia reached out with her mind. She called to the trees outside, to the vines that grew along the cabin walls. "Help us," she thought desperately. "Protect us." At first nothing happened. Then she felt it. A surge of energy, ancient and powerful. The trees heard her. The earth responded. Vines crashed through the broken wall, wrapping around the Dravak hunter. Roots broke through the floor, tangling its legs. The hunter fought, its strength incredible, but the plants kept coming, more and more, binding it tighter. Olivia stood, her chest still burning from the hit. She walked to the trapped hunter, her hand raised. She could feel the life energy flowing through her, connecting her to the plants, to the earth, to everything living. "You will not take her," Olivia said, her voice stronger than she felt. "Leave this place. Leave Earth." The hunter struggled against the vines. "Others coming," it said, its voice cold. "Can't escape. Give child. Save yourselves." "No," Olivia said firmly. She looked at Naylara, at Lyra. Through the bond she sent her feelings. "I will protect you. Both of you. Always." Naylara's silver eyes filled with tears. She stepped forward, standing beside Olivia. "Together," she said. Catherine and Paul joined them, forming a circle around the trapped hunter. They raised their weapons together. "For Earth," Catherine said. "For Calesia," Paul added. "For Lyra," Naylara whispered. They fired as one. Blue energy washed over the Dravak hunter. Its armor cracked, then shattered. Light poured from the brakes, bright and blinding. They all turned away as the hunter gave one last mechanical scream, then collapsed. When they looked back, only broken pieces of red armor remained, smoking on the floor. "We have to leave," Paul said urgently. That was just one hunter. "They'll send more." They gathered their things quickly. Paul contacted other safe houses, arranging transport. Catherine checked the map, finding the nearest secure location. As they prepared to leave, Olivia felt something strange through the bond. Naylara was planning something. Something she was trying to hide. What is it? Olivia asked, catching Naylara alone for a moment. What aren't you telling me? Naylara looked away. Nothing. We must hurry. But Olivia felt the truth through their connection. You're planning to leave. Without me. The realization hurt more than she expected. Naylara finally met her eyes. To protect you, she said softly. In my dreams, I see you die protecting us. Cannot let that happen. That's not your choice to make, Olivia said, taking Naylara's hands in hers. The bond goes both ways. I can feel what you feel. I know you care for me. Olivia floated in darkness. Pain came and went like waves on a shore. Sometimes she heard voices far away and unclear. Sometimes she felt a warm touch on her face, her hands. And always there was the bond, a silver thread connecting her to something outside the darkness. Slowly, the darkness thinned. Olivia opened her eyes to find herself in a small room with stone walls. She lay on a narrow bed, a soft blue light glowing from a lamp nearby. Her body felt heavy, weak, but the pain was gone. You wake. Naylara's voice filled with relief. Olivia turned her head to see the alien woman sitting beside the bed. Naylara looked tired, her blue skin paler than before, but her silver eyes shone with joy. What happened? Olivia asked, her voice rough from disuse. Where are we? Safe place, underground. Naylara took Olivia's hand, her touch warm. You hurt badly. Dravak weapon nearly kill you. Memories flooded back. The attack at the safe house. The hunter shooting her. The pain. How long was I out? Olivia tried to sit up but found she didn't have the strength. 7 days, Naylara said. You very close to death. Had to use deep bond to save you. Deep bond? Olivia asked, confused. Naylara looked down at their joined hands. Ancient Calesian ritual. Connects life forces fully. Shared strength. Shared healing. She touched her own chest, then Olivia's. Now we truly won. Olivia felt it then, the difference in the bond. Before it had been like a window between them, allowing glimpses of each other's thoughts and feelings. Now it was a door wide open. She could feel Naylara's exhaustion, her relief, her deep care. You saved me, Olivia whispered. Naylara nodded. Could not let you die. Her eyes held something more, something she didn't say aloud, but Olivia felt it through the bond. Love. Pure and strong. Where's Lyra? Catherine? Paul? Olivia asked, trying to process everything. Lyra safe. Sleeping in next room. Naylara's face grew sad. Catherine and Paul captured. Dravak take them to main ship. The news hit Olivia hard. We have to help them. Others working on plan. Many Starseed Network members gather. Naylara helped Olivia sit up slightly, propping pillows behind her. First, you must get stronger. A door opened and a woman entered carrying a tray with food and drink. She looked human except for a faint green tint to her skin and eyes that shifted color like opals. Our patient is awake, the woman said with a smile. Good, I'm Maria, one of the healers here. Where is here exactly? Olivia asked, accepting a cup of warm liquid that smelled like honey and herbs. Starseed Network headquarters, Maria answered. We're about half a mile under a mountain in Colorado, one of the few places completely hidden from Dravak scans. As Olivia ate and drank, Maria checked her wounds. The healer seemed pleased with her progress. The deep bond saved you, she said, examining Olivia's back where the hunter had shot her. Without it, no one could have survived that weapon. Naylara said Catherine and Paul were captured, Olivia said. What's being done to rescue them? Maria and Naylara exchanged looks. It's complicated, Maria said carefully. The Dravak have moved their main ship into orbit. They're demanding we hand over all hybrid children, especially Lyra. Of course we won't do that, Olivia said firmly. No, Naylara agreed, but conflict growing. Some human governments detect Dravak ship, ask questions. Soon open contact may happen. The implications were enormous. Humanity learning they weren't alone in the universe. The Dravak war spilling onto Earth, it was too much to process. Rest now, Maria said, seeing Olivia's exhaustion. Gain strength. Many decisions soon. After Maria left, Naylara helped Olivia lie down again. Through the bond, Olivia could feel Naylara's worry. Her fear for the future. Stay with me, Olivia whispered, holding Naylara's hand tightly. Naylara nodded and stretched out beside her on the narrow bed. They lay face to face, their hands joined between them. Through the bond, their thoughts and feelings flowed freely, comforting and warm. "When I thought you would die," Naylara said softly, "I realized something. Bond began as need, as protection. But now it's more," Olivia finished for her. "I feel it too." Naylara's silver eyes shimmered with emotion. Slowly, she leaned forward and pressed her lips to Olivia's. The kiss was gentle, tentative, but through the bond, it felt like coming home, like finding something Olivia hadn't known she was missing. They fell asleep like that, holding each other close, the bond humming with new understanding between them. Olivia recovered quickly over the next few days, the deep bond accelerating her healing. She began to explore the underground base, amazed by what the Starseed network had built. Hundreds of people lived there, some fully human, others with varying degrees of Calesian blood. They had labs, training rooms, living quarters, even gardens with special lights that mimicked sunlight. In one of the labs, Olivia found Naylara working with other scientists. They were studying the broken pieces of Dravak armor recovered from the hunter they had defeated. "Looking for weakness," Naylara explained. "Way to disable their weapons." Olivia also spent time with Lyra, who was growing quickly. The baby now floated above her pod rather than inside it, small balls of light dancing around her as she giggled. "Her powers develop fast," Naylara said proudly, "faster than normal hybrid child." A week after Olivia woke, the leaders of the Starseed network called a meeting. They gathered in a large circular room, maps and screens covering the walls. About 50 people attended, representing different safe houses and groups from around the world. A tall man with blue-tinged skin addressed them. "The situation has escalated," he said grimly. "The Dravak command ship is now visible to Earth's telescopes. Several governments have detected it and are preparing responses." Murmurs spread through the room. This was what they had feared for decades: open contact under hostile conditions. "We have also received a communication from the Dravak commander," the man continued. "They are willing to release their prisoners in exchange for the hybrid child known as Lyra." All eyes turned to Naylara, who stood with Lyra in her arms. Her face was pale but determined. "Never," she said firmly. "Of course not," the leader agreed, "but we must respond somehow. The Dravak are growing impatient. They threaten to begin attacking human cities if we don't comply." Olivia felt sick at the thought. Millions of innocent people caught in an alien war they knew nothing about. "What about the mountain?" she asked suddenly, remembering something. "The safe house where we fought the hunter." Paul said something about the minerals there. One of the scientists nodded eagerly. "Yes, the mountain has rare elements that amplify Calesian energy. We've been studying it for years. Could we use that somehow?" Olivia asked. "Create a weapon or defense?" Naylara's eyes lit up. "Not weapon," she said, "shield. If enough of us combine power, might create energy barrier. Protect Earth." The idea sparked intense discussion. Scientists argued about the feasibility. Strategists debated the best approach. In the end, they formed a plan. They would return to the mountain, a group of the strongest hybrids and pure Calesians. Together they would try to create an energy shield large enough to repel the Dravak ships. "It's risky," the leader warned. "The Dravak will sense what we're doing. They will attack." "Then we fight," Olivia said, standing tall despite her still healing body. Through the bond, she felt Naylara's concern, but also her pride. 2 days later, they put the plan in motion. 20 of them, including Olivia and Naylara, returned to the mountain where the safe house had been. The building was gone, destroyed in the attack, but the land remained, rich with the special minerals they needed. They formed a circle in a clearing, Lyra in the center in her floating pod. The baby seemed to sense the importance of what was happening. She watched them with her deep blue eyes, unusually quiet and focused. "Begin," Naylara instructed. They all closed their eyes, reaching for the energy within and around them. Olivia focused on her connection to the earth, to the trees and plants. She felt the life force flow through her, stronger than ever before. Through the bond, she and Naylara joined their energy, creating a powerful current between them. Around the circle, others did the same, connecting to those beside them. The air began to shimmer with blue light. It rose from the ground, from their bodies, spiraling upward into the sky. Olivia had never felt anything like it, this collective power, this unity of purpose. In the center, Lyra began to glow. Her tiny body lifted from her pod, floating higher. Blue light pulsed from her in waves, connecting to each person in the circle, then shooting skyward. Above them, the clouds parted. The Dravak ships appeared, red and threatening. They began to descend, weapons powering up. "Hold steady," Naylara called, her voice strained with effort. "Almost there." The blue energy from Lyra and the circle expanded outward, forming a dome over the mountain. As the Dravak fired, their red beams hit the shield and scattered, unable to penetrate. Olivia felt the strain of maintaining the shield. Sweat rolled down her face. Through the bond, she could feel Naylara's pain as well. They were all pushing their limits. Then something unexpected happened. Lyra, still floating in the center, began to change. Her blue skin glowed brighter and patterns appeared across it, complex and beautiful. Her eyes, normally blue, shifted to a swirling mix of blue and silver.